Yes, people. Welcome back to the finished article. Welcome back to another episode for the World Cup. I'm joined by a couple of different hosts today, and we're going to have another one popping on a little bit later. But before I do get into it, please leave a like, leave some comments, and subscribe to the channel. The ticker's at the bottom, just as a reminder for you. First off, we've got Rich, as you saw him last time. Here we go. How's it going, Rich?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, decent. Next, I'm going to bring Nav on. I think he's ready. You think he's ready? Here we go, Nav. How are we doing, bro?
Good, Chaz. Rich, how are we doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sweet. We've got one last person to jump on. We've got Adam.
How you doing, guys?
We all good?
Yes, mate. How are you, boys?
Yeah, not too bad. We do have Shaz coming on, but he's probably going to be on in about 20, 30 minutes. But when he comes on, I'll bring him on and we'll just take it from there. But yeah, obviously this episode is about the World Cup again. We're going to be talking about the opening game, but obviously before we get on to the World Cup, there's a few little bits of news that we should go through. I'll let you lot talk about the Ronaldo interview first. I'll let you get on to that. Whoever wants to go first.
I just think that, in my view, on it is similar to what I said to you today. Don't do that while you're still at the club.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if what he said, even if he had some valid points, what he said, I'm just old school. I just sort of believe you respect your manager, respect your teammates. But I know the guy's been through a lot this year, but
yeah,
don't agree with it myself.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, he shouldn't have done it whilst he was at the club. He should have just stayed quiet and wrote a book after he retired. That would have been fine, you know. But this is Ronaldo, and he does what he wants, and he can get away with it. Obviously, he's probably never gonna play again at Man United. Let's be honest. Ten Hag's not gonna put him in the squad after that. I think he's gonna be lucky if he's still got a contract at the end of the World Cup.
If he has, he'll go in January.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone in January.
If he doesn't leave in that transfer by the end of that transfer window, I think that would be probably the biggest shock of the season so far.
Oh yeah, definitely. If he's not gone by the end of January, there's definitely something going on.
There'll be more than enough teams wanting him.
Yeah, there are teams that want him. I've heard that there's an Australian team that wants him over in Australia. There's a couple of teams in America that want him. I think David Beckham wants him at Inter Miami. But I think Ronaldo's preferred destination is somewhere in Europe because he wants to carry on in the Champions League. He wants to stay in Europe mainly for the Champions League. But I was saying it to Shaz yesterday. Imagine if he goes to another team, plays the second half of the Champions League with that team and they don't win, and then they don't finish in the top whatever to get Champions League, but United finish top 4 and get Champions League. That's just going to be the biggest piss take for him that there is.
That's the risk, isn't it? There's no guarantees in football, but then he could go and do the opposite. He could go and win the Champions League for another team.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll have a point to prove, so he'll want to prove himself now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't know. I mean, I think he's lost a step. Like, obviously, due to his age. I mean, when he was younger, he was a lot faster. Now he's lost a lot of his pace.
I was a little bit faster when I was younger as well. But that happens to everyone, doesn't it? You know, as time goes on, you know, you come to the end of your career, you lose that half a yard, but, you know, you kind of gain half a yard, you know, because he can anticipate, you know, against a younger defender, he's probably gaining that half a yard back. So, you know, in his movement, because he knows when to go. He's done it.
No, that's true. So we do have a comment from Shaz. I'll just bring it up. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Yes, lads, what's happening? Listen, boys, Ronaldo is going to Barca. They are the only team that can afford him. I don't even know where to start with that one, bro.
Hey, Shaz, he's got a point. I mean, you know, I think somebody tried to engineer a move out before, didn't he, from the club? But
yeah, he's tried it for a while.
Not many were interested. I think that's the reason why he went and did that interview. I think it is just a case of him just trying to engineer that move, you know, rile people up at the actual club itself. I mean, he was a legend. I always say you shouldn't go back to the same woman and the same club back again, you know. It always ends up in tears, unfortunately, you know. So
yeah, and, I get that, bro. I get that. I mean,
that's
in his interview, he said he turned down like a £350 million contract in the Middle East somewhere.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He turned it down to stay at United. But it wasn't to stay at United. It was because he wants Champions League.
Yeah.
Because he could have taken that money and retired after that, and he would have been fine. He could retire now and he'd be fine. But
he don't need money though, does he?
No, he does. It's not about the money for him. I think it's about his legacy, and like he said in that interview, he wants to be remembered as the world's number one. So it's about being the best for Ronaldo. And I don't know where this comment from Shaz is coming from. Callum O'Hare is better than CR7. I'm guessing he's a Coventry City player or something, isn't he?
He's put that to try and wind me up.
Fair enough. Oh, dear, Shaz.
Side.
Why is he on this guy? We're going to have words with him when he gets on the show. I know there's other news that obviously we were just speaking about before we came on was Karim Benzema has been ruled out. Initially, I thought it was just for the first game of the World Cup, but now it's for the whole World Cup, which is going to be a big blow for France because he's Ballon d'Or winner.
They're blessed though in that attacking area. Another team would, really struggle to lose a player of that quality, but France have probably got 3 or 4 of us that can easily step in and replace him.
Yeah, true. But I don't think the rest of them have that quality that Benzema has.
No, but someone will come in. I mean, that team's just,
I don't think they're going to struggle, but it is a big blow to them. I think like one of their best players is out, and I don't think he'll play again for France because he's 34. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be around for Euros or the World Cup.
Well, he might have one more Euros in him because it's only 18 months away, isn't it? So he might have another Euros, but he won't have another World Cup. I don't think.
No, I don't think he'll have another World Cup. That's 4 years away. So he'll be 38 by the time the next World Cup pops around. So it's one of them ones. I know you boys obviously watched the game, Qatar and Ecuador. So initial thoughts.
It was painful. It's painful viewing.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't really watch it. I mean, I don't really follow either of those teams, and I probably would have got bored and turned it off after about 2 or 3 minutes in. But apparently it wasn't worth watching anyway, so I didn't really miss much.
No, you didn't.
The first couple of minutes, Ecuador had the ball in the net, and it got ruled out for VAR, and I actually thought it was a lovely goal, lovely bicycle kick to set it up. Yeah. But, and it was one. I always think VAR. The reason we have it is to correct obvious wrong decisions, but that wasn't an obvious wrong decision. And if that's going to be what we've got to put up with for a month of constant VAR checks, it's going to be a frustrating month, to be honest, for watchers.
Yeah, I get that. VAR is not the best, is it? It's very flawed.
Yeah, but offside's offside. It's the same when the ball goes over the line. It's either the whole ball's over the line or it's not. We've got the checks to do that. VAR is there to try and do the same. And unless they change the rules for VAR, they've got to follow it to the letter of the law, haven't they? If it's offside, it doesn't matter whether it's a tiny little bit or 10 yards. Offside's offside.
Makes sense.
I mean, I
say that again, Rich.
It's stupid.
Wrong sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no advantage gained by his kneecap being slightly in front of the defender, but by the letter of the law, that's offside.
Yeah. It is what it is with VAR. I mean, I don't like VAR. It's made a lot of wrong decisions.
I've seen.
But on the other side, it has made some good decisions as well. It's gone both ways. If it's 50-50.
I've seen women's football matches where players a ponytail's been offside.
A ponytail's been offside. What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just something else, man. That's something else. I don't even know where to start with that, bro. That's just something else.
I know at the end of the match, I think there was some boos for the Qatari team as well. I don't think they managed any shots on targets, and yeah, there were some boos on there. I know the referee seemed a bit trigger happy with his yellow cards as well. There was quite a few of them dished out, and.
But he was consistent with the yellow cards, though.
He was.
That's what you want to see. It wasn't like he favoured one side or the other or made some dodgy calls. He was there, right? That's the yellow card. You're having one, and that's it. No sort of messing around. So, I thought that was a decent performance from the ref.
Yeah. I thought the second. That makes sense. To be fair, Qatar had a couple of long range efforts in the second half, but that was what they were restricted to, really. Ecuador in complete control of that game. Yeah. The second
very poor opening game, though.
I'm just looking at the stats now, and it does show that Qatar had no shots on target. They had 5 shots, but none on target. They have 4 yellow cards and 15 fouls each. That's a lot, man.
early contender for the Golden Boot with Valencia getting 2 goals.
Yeah, could be. If they get past the group stage, which I think they will.
Holland are going to fill their boots there.
Say that again.
Holland are going to fill their boots against them. I think they're going to be ruthless. They're like Ecuador will quite happy to sit back and have the 3 points. I think Holland will go out and try and score some goals, and I can see that being a very big scoreline. I'd be surprised if there wasn't at least 5 or 6. And whoever their centre forward is, whoever they're starting for that game, he could be on 3 or 4. Yeah, defending was not
that Qatar's defending.
Yeah.
Just positionally all over the place. I think they got very lucky that Ecuador didn't really want to go for it, because I think had they wanted to, that could have been another big scoreline. But they're just thinking, right, keep everyone injury free. Just we've got the win. We're under no threat. That's it.
Oh, that makes sense, man. We've got a late addition for the hosts. Your boy Shaz is here.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
What's up, then, boys? What's up?
What you on, Shaz?
Yeah. What are these comments, bro? You gotta answer for those comments now, bro.
Well, bro, which comment are you referring to? I'm happy to answer to any of them, bro.
Both of them that you've just left.
Oh, you mean the Ronaldo one, bro? Like I said, Barcelona love spending stupid money because they're selling all the assets, so why not?
Yeah, but let's be honest, they can't afford Ronaldo, not with his demands. They couldn't afford Messi, like never mind Ronaldo.
Bro, they can't even afford Lewandowski. How they managed to go and get Lewandowski is a different story.
Crazy.
It's just crazy. And the second one, well, that was just for Adam. I know how much.
I said that.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I saw that. I said just for Adam, just to wind them up. So good fun though. How you guys doing? You alright?
Yeah, all good, man. You?
Yeah, not bad. Great first game. As usual. Boring.
Great first game.
Oh well, the less said the better. I'm sticking with my Super 6 prediction for tomorrow. 7-0 England win. That's what's happening. Right now.
So I mean, let's talk about the England squad. I mean, Harry Maguire's been left out of the squad, and you've got Luke Shaw at centre back with Kieran Trippier at left back. I mean, I don't understand the logic in the team.
I think that was Clinton Morrison's just early prediction, but it's just I didn't understand that either.
I mean, I wouldn't really play Luke Shaw at left back. That's
no.
That's just
I wouldn't play Trent either. I mean, who do you play at left back then? So
I play Trippier at right back, and probably they put in that prediction they had Trippier at left back, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. England are just, you don't know which team's going to turn up. It doesn't matter which player is on the pitch. You don't know which team's going to turn up with England.
This though would be an ideal game to give Trent a run out though and see what he can do. Because I don't think they're going to be too threatening attacking wise.
Play him tomorrow if there's any game, because who we got after this? We got the USA. They're a bit.
They'll cause some problems down that left hand side. They've got Pulisic from Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So and obviously Wales will have Bale there. Trent can't defend against either of them two, so that's just a waste of time. So we needed someone that can actually defend there.
Well, let's be honest, Trent can't defend at all.
No,
I don't know why he's a defender in the first place. He's more of a midfielder because he gets forward and he's decent at crossing. That's his biggest asset is his crossing.
Liability.
He's a big liability.
Yeah, well, Southgate said Maddison's not starting as well, didn't he? Don't know if you guys saw the interview at half time.
As he said, Maddison's not starting.
Yeah, Maddison and Walker are both ruled out of with slight injuries. They haven't trained, so they won't be playing in that one.
All right, okay.
They should be back to the America game. It's just a precaution, I think.
Yeah. He just wants to make sure that they're going to be fit enough to play the other two.
No, but let's be honest, boys. You could put a pub team tomorrow, and you'd still
play Callum O'Hare, right?
Why not? Bro? Why not play Callum O'Hare, bro? Play Trent Alexander. Play Carl McFadden if you want. I don't mind. It's not going to make a difference. You should still beat these boys.
Yeah, we should.
You could play Harry Maguire up front, and you still should win. That's what I'm saying.
He wouldn't be a liability at the back if he's up front.
No, that's true. That's true.
Bro, Ten Hag tried him up front a few weeks ago.
He did, yeah. He put him up front to try and score. I don't know what he was thinking about that.
I'm still not expecting a high-scoring game, though. I think England will win, but I'm still only expecting a 1-0 or something. I think
it'll be 1-0 to whoever wins. I've got a feeling that Iran might get one of the biggest upsets in football tomorrow.
I don't think it's going to happen, Shaz. England will bring the cup home this year.
It's coming home, yeah?
It's coming home.
It's coming home, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with Rich. I think it's going to be a tight game because, Southgate will just tell them, there's no point going out there for goals. It's not about goal difference makes no difference, though, in the World Cup. It's just about winning games. If we get 2 goals ahead, we'll do what Ecuador did and just coast and just see the game out.
in that team, we've just got to keep possession, just stay in control of the game. If we win 0 with a Harry Kane penalty, I'd take that. We can't let them take the ball.
But in all honesty, if England if England are a serious contender to win the World Cup, they need to be destroying a team like Iran. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but Southgate don't play like that.
No, that's what I mean. Like,
he wants us to score 1 or 2 goals, get ahead, and then see it out. He's happy with that. And it's
I get that
at times, but it is effective. It's got us obviously to the semi-finals and the final so far. So
I'm telling you right now, if Harry Kane scores a hat-trick, he's taking the golden boot home. This is his game. This is the game for him to do it in.
No comments on Harry Kane. Sorry.
Yeah.
None at all from me. We've got Declan Rice is playing tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he'll start with.
He's going to start.
Bellingham, I think. Yeah.
And Jude Bellingham, yeah. So, who should be England's number one? Let's talk about the number one position.
Pickford.
You still think Pickford should be number one?
I don't like him, but his form for Everton's been decent. I think, I agree with that.
Yeah.
What about Nick Pope?
He was crap though, weren't he, in the last England game?
He was.
Oh, that was so bad.
He was disappointed. He let himself down. That was his opportunity to have a chance at number one spot. He let himself down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just on that one performance.
Can't risk Dean Henderson didn't make the squad, did he?
No.
No, I don't think. Let's not talk about Dean Henderson.
So who are we going for in defence, boys?
Who should be in defence? I'd say Stones, Harry Maguire.
Maguire, yeah.
Trent should start this game because it's an opportunity, as we said earlier, that to see what he can do.
Yeah, Southgate don't like him. We know that. He didn't really want to take him. Felt like he had to, I think. Well, let's put it this way: Trent would have been in that squad if Reece James was fully fit. I don't think you would have made it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's an opportunity for Trent to step up. And obviously with Walker out, I think he might have to go with Trent because he'll put Trippier at left back.
Yeah. Isn't Ben Chilwell in the team, or is he been ruled out or something?
No, he's injured as well.
What the heck? Because he's meant to be the left back, isn't he?
Bro, everyone's injured. That's the problem with the Premier League.
Everyone's injured.
Season game. Yeah.
So obviously we've all said that we don't like Harry Maguire. I've got a feeling he's probably not going to play this game. So who should take his spot?
I think Southgate will play him.
I think
Southgate will play him, unfortunately.
You reckon he's going to play Harry Maguire?
Southgate likes his defence to sit back, though, and that suits Maguire's style of play, whereas United play a high line, England play a deep line.
Yeah, no, that's true.
What about Ben White? England, so
that makes sense.
It's going to be Maguire because they've been England's two most tapped centre backs in recent years, and they've both been at tournaments before. I think he'll go with experience over form.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I think he will go with experience. To be fair,
then by form, Ben White would be in with a shout, but I think Stones and Maguire.
I think we'll see them all play.
There's Connor Cody as well in the team.
No chance.
I think Connor Cody's he's earned a spot in the England squad, and I think he's a decent defender. Yeah. In a game like this, he should be playing people like Connor Cody to see what they're capable of for the England squad.
He should, but he won't.
Exactly. That's the problem with Southgate. He won't do something like that. That's the problem.
He likes what he likes. He knows what he knows, and I think we'll see a very sort of similar 11 to what he's been going with recently.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, didn't Morrison select Luke Shaw at centre back? Didn't he? That seems a bit strange. That and
yeah,
centre backs, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't think Luke Shaw should be playing centre back.
No, I don't think that's right.
No, I think he'll play Stones at the back, and then unfortunately, I think the Slabhead will somehow manage to get in. Slabhead will get in, and then he'll probably play Trippier. He'll definitely play him.
He's going to play Trippier at left back, isn't he? Over Luke Shaw, who's a natural left back.
Yeah,
doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense because Trippier is a right back. He's a natural right back, and Luke Shaw's a natural left back. So he should be picking Luke Shaw. I don't understand. Obviously, it's Gareth Southgate in it. I mean, I personally don't think he should be England manager, but that's a topic for another day. That's a topic for another day.
Well, he's got to a semi-final. He's got to a final. The only thing he's got to do now is win it. That's all he's got to do.
Let's be realistic, though. England aren't going to win the World Cup. Let's be realistic.
He's not exciting, is he? He's not exciting, but he's effective.
Yeah.
He's boring. He does the job. That's what you need.
Hey, we never know, though. You never know. The England team might actually turn up in this World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
The best way to look at it is don't have any expectations and just enjoy the ride, because we've all been through this before.
That's it.
Many times before.
What about midfield? Who should be the midfield? Is he going with a 3-man midfield or 4-man midfield?
I think he'd go 3-3. Jude
He'll
Bellingham.
go 4-3-3, won't he?
Yeah, he'll go Jude Bellingham, Rice, and
Bellingham, Rice.
Mason Mount, Southgate's favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd pick Calvin Phillips over him, man. Or even Jordan Henderson, man. I think Jordan Henderson.
It doesn't matter who we want. It's about who Southgate's going to pick. We can pick his team now.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're just making our predictions, man. We're just making our predictions.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously, Southgate's not going to go off what we say.
No,
this is our
like
chance to
some
say
of these
what we
players
want.
I just know that he's not going to go with these sort of guys. It's going to be Mason Mount's the first name on his team sheet.
That's your problem there with Southgate. Mason Mount.
But he has to be fair. He has to play Bellingham.
Oh yeah, I think Bellingham will definitely be in the squad because he's one of the most exciting midfielders England have. It's a shame that some other midfielders didn't make it. Like, I know obviously form-wise, Jadon Sancho didn't have a good start to the season at United, but I would have liked to see him in the England squad because I think he does play well when he plays for England. No, now shaking his head at me there.
Well, you're right. He hasn't started that well for United, but at the same time, from what I've heard and read, that the guy's suffering with a bit of mental health issues. Now, the World Cup's a big stage. He's only 22 years old now. If he messes up there, he's gonna carry that for a while. So I think might have been the right move for Sancho. You know, maybe next World Cup when he's 26, a bit more mature. Developing under Ten Hag. You know, he's a very good player, Sancho, but it just all depends, I
mean, he did have that. He did take one of the penalties in the Euros, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Did he miss his penalty?
Yeah,
that's gonna hang over him for a while. Yeah. So
they brought him on to take a penalty, and then he missed it. Because he was one of his 5 penalty takers. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Played 2 minutes. So
and he also, I mean, from what me and Shaz were talking about it yesterday, he's gone literally dark on Instagram. He's removed all his pictures. He's taken his profile picture off as well. He's just like gone ghost. It's just a bit. I think it's just a bit weird. Obviously, as Nav just said, he is probably suffering from a bit of mental health issues. It might not be related to football. It might be something personal that he's going through. But we won't know
sometimes
until
a break can do you well though from all that noise.
Social media is good for one thing. When Adam Outham basically comes out with a rant on Facebook or Twitter, it's positive criticism because the stuff he posts on.
Yeah, but look, Robbins has obviously been reading my Facebook posts, mate, because he's gone on and done everything that I've wanted him to do. That QPR game, that was all me.
No way. That's mad. What about forwards for the team? I know obviously there's Phil Foden, there's Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, James Maddison, Rashford, Saka, Sterling, and Callum Wilson are the forwards for the squad. In the squad,
I think it's going to be Foden, Kane, and then Sterling. I think that's how I believe in line up.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think, and I've said this to Shaz plenty of times, Jack Grealish is one of the biggest flops in football since he's gone to Man City. And no one talks about it because Man City won the league.
It was the wrong move for him.
It was definitely. Yeah. He was never good enough for a top team. He was good enough for the team when he was out.
I think Man City have just got too many good players in that position. So he's just not going to get consistent game time because he's not one of the best. He's not the best player in world football.
No,
so he's always going to be one of those who's going to be in and out of the squad. And I think he needs to play week in, week out like he was for Villa.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even think he's a good player. In all honesty, I've never liked him, even when he was at Villa. I even said as soon as Man City signed him, he's going to be one of the biggest flops in the Premier League. And so far, he's proved me right.
Likes a drink as well, though, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
You don't know how often he's going out during the week, and how much that's
That's it.
affecting what he's doing on the training ground. I mean,
Definitely.
he may not be going out at all, but obviously, you saw what he was like at the end of the season, and he barely played. So
I
He
think
probably
he's
has
gonna
been
go-
going out.
I think he's going Foden, Kane, and possibly Saka. Saka might. be another
I'd
one.
quite like Saka. He's had a good start to the season, Saka. So
I mean, everyone's obviously saying all these players. Not one's actually said Rashford.
Rashford, you bring off the bench, bro.
Rashford's had the past couple of weeks at United some of the best games he's played for a long time.
No, that's true. But the problem is Phil Foden's already going to take up his position anyway.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the.
But has Foden played better than Rashford? Let's be honest.
probably
season-wise,
over the course of the season so far. Yeah, I mean Rashford's had a few good games. I think Foden's been
Rashford's
consistently
getting onto form now. But if you compare Foden, it's not nothing in comparison because
Foden's been consistent.
Yeah, I don't think Foden's had a bad game this season. Certainly haven't seen anything in the reports that he's been playing for.
Yeah.
I haven't watched all of their games, so I can't say for certain. But it's only
I think Rashford will have an impact, but I think he'll be more of an impact sub based on the current. Unless something drastically happens and Saka drops off form or something, I can't see him getting in.
You never know. You never know. It is Saka. He plays for Arsenal, so.
Rashford somewhere, but it might not necessarily be tomorrow. Don't forget, 3 games within just over a week, so he's going to change around a bit.
I think he will rotate the squad for the games,
especially. It's a big if, but if we can secure our passage to the next round in the first 2 games, I'm probably jinxing it by saying that. Obviously, hope that he'll win the changes in that 3rd game, but
yeah, I mean, if they're already qualified for the next round. After the first 2 games, then he'll probably just give other players a bit of a runabout just to keep some of the other players like fresh for the round. Is it round of 16?
That's
and give those guys coming into the squad though a little bit of match fitness because it's all well and good being and training, but you need that match sharpness.
No, definitely.
I think that's why tomorrow's game is crucial because if, for example, we're already 2-0 up at halftime, 2-3, whatever it is, for God's sake, for example, then he might switch it up because. I can't see him doing that against USA and Wales because they need the points to qualify. So tomorrow might be the game, as Adam has said, that they will capitalize. But let's see.
Does anyone know the sub situation like for the World Cup? Is it 5 changes? Well, 5 subs and 3 changes.
5. Yeah, 5. Yeah,
the same as it has been. Right. Okay.
Is that not changing because the Premier League's been? They can obviously make 5 subs.
No, it's 5. Yeah, it's 5. And you
got. So they can make 5 subs. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So they can. The thing to bear in mind is. It's been played at 1:00 tomorrow, which is going to be like extreme.
The hottest time of the day.
That's a problem, man. That's a problem. It's the hottest time of the day over in Qatar, and they have had about a week or so to get used to the heat. But it's that type of heat you can't get used to. I mean, I've been over to Dubai and the heat over there, and I went in September and it was a bit too much. And this is we're in November, but it's still really hot over there.
You can see it was hot watching today's game just in the warm-up. You can see normally when you see a team warming up, you see them doing running drills and things. It was just standing in a circle doing short passes. Like they didn't want to be. You can tell it's hot climate. Like, and that's why I'm saying England tomorrow. They've just got to keep possession and just let Iran chase the ball. They're going to be used to it. If we can control the game and just sneak it 1-0, I'll take it.
Yeah. It's all about that 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't have to be pretty.
No, I mean, like I say, we don't want to see a hat full of goals, but I just don't see it. I just think, like I say, in that heat, Southgate or Love, I'm just like, we get 2 up, 3 up, or whatever. He'll just be like, right, that's it now. I'm going to make as many changes as I can, and we're just.
What's going to happen? As soon as the team lineup comes out, I'm going to see a message from Adam Martin saying, "This is just shit." And then you know what's going to happen next. Guys,
the team will be announced about 12 o'clock, won't it? Like it's usually about an hour before kickoff.
Yeah. Make sure you block out your calendars from work, boys. There's no meetings apart from the game tomorrow.
I'll be watching it most likely, but on my lunch break.
No doubt.
So another big game tomorrow as well. Holland and Senegal. One I'm looking forward to, like I was saying before. Holland are one of my favourite teams in the World Cup. Obviously, I'm supporting England, but quite like Holland. I think it'll be good to watch Depay against Senegal. Senegal, obviously, with their own problems with no Sadio Mane now there for the World Cup. I think that's a massive, massive blow.
Yeah, for Senegal, that's a big blow. He's their best player, definitely. I mean, that's another game. That's another interesting game. It's 4 o'clock kickoff, that one, isn't it? Yeah. That's going to be an interesting game because I do like Holland. They are a good team.
I think they'll struggle defensively because Van Dijk's had a bit of an off.
Oh, you mean the best defender in the world, Van Dijk?
Apparently.
Yeah. But they've got the likes of obviously Timber, Ake, and I think Daley Blind is there as well. You know, defensively, I think they're quite strong and a good unit at the back. But Van Dijk hasn't been that good this year, as he's been over the last few years. Mr. Consistent for Liverpool for a very, very long time. You know, so it'll be interesting.
We have got a comment here about Mane. So. Evening, guys. No Mane for Senegal. Time for Ndai or Sarr to shine.
Was that the same Sarr that plays for Watford?
I think it is actually. Yeah.
Yeah. No worries there. He was absolutely awful against us. Wasn't he the fella that missed from 2 yards out? Put it over the bar. I think he was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did. I remember.
Yeah. He certainly knows Sadio Mane.
That's crazy. Boy. That's crazy. What are your predictions for that game now? Holland and Senegal.
Senegal, good side. Obviously, Koulibaly is in defence for Senegal. They've got a good goalkeeper as well, Senegal. But I think Holland might just do it 3-1. I think Memphis Depay, a couple of goals. Bergwijn will be in there as well. Obviously, one of another emerging stars for Holland, I think, Graham Birch, who's at Bayern Munich. I don't think he's been selected. He's not playing in the World Cup. I don't think he's been selected. Very good player. But, I think 3-1 to Holland against Senegal.
3-1, yeah. Hey, that could be an interesting game. I know, obviously, Senegal don't have Mane, but if the other players step up, it could be an interesting game that they could give Holland a good game.
I think tomorrow's game between Holland and Senegal basically decides the group because I can't see Ecuador beating either of those sides. So, for me, I'm going to go 2-0 Holland.
2-0. Nice. I'm probably going to go with a 3-0 or a 2-0 win for Holland as well there.
I'd say
they're in the Super 6. I've gone 2-1.
2-1. Nice.
2-1, yeah.
Nice.
Remember, mate, you still belong in the league anyway. That's all that matters.
And there is another game tomorrow as well in England's group, USA versus Wales. That's the last game of the day, 7 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be interesting, that one, because they're both decent teams. I don't think it'll be 0-0, that one, Shaz. I think that's got a 1-1 draw written all over it.
Definitely.
Gareth Bale will score. He'll have that one moment of magic and score. And then America will obviously, I think America will score as well eventually before.
No, they've got from the long throw, America. With Weston McKennie, he's got the long throw on him.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, they've got. I remember you mentioned that in the last podcast as well. That they've got a player who's got a really good long throw. So they've got pretty dangerous from the long throw. So that's a plus for them, innit? I think they'll score from it. If they've got a long throw close to the box, they can just whip it in and get a goal there.
I think we'll see a winner in that game. I think one side will win at 2-1 either way. Because whoever wins it basically is probably going to qualify. Because you'd expect both of those two sides to beat Iran.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's going to be 6 points. So I think both teams will be going for it, which is why I think we'll see a winner late on. Either way. Either a Bale free kick or, who knows.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Shaz? He's still going with a 0-0 draw?
You guys are probably right. I'd probably be a winner, but I can't call it. I'd probably just go 1-0 Wales.
1-0 Wales, yeah. Nice. Are you going with your boy Gareth Bale scoring that one?
I don't really care who scores. I just think it'll be 1-0. The only team that are relevant are England. That's all. It's coming home. That's all I'm saying. Everything else is right.
Crazy, Cameron. What are the games for Tuesday like? Are there any good games coming up on Tuesday?
Argentina has got Saudi Arabia, and I think
10 o'clock kickoff.
10 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, I think 10 in the morning. Yeah, there's 4 games. There's Argentina, Saudi at 10 in the morning, and then we've got Denmark and Tunisia at 1 o'clock. Mexico, Poland, and I think France are playing somebody as well. I don't know who France are playing. Australia.
Yeah, last game they're playing Australia.
4 games, yeah.
Some good games coming up. I think Argentina are absolutely just going to smash Saudi.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably going to be the highest scoring game of this of that day. Let's be honest.
Well, for the day, yeah, probably.
I don't think it'll be the whole tournament. I think of that day, that'll be the highest scoring game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those games for that day, for Tuesday?
Poland, Mexico is one that could go either way. I think I predicted 2-1 Poland in that one, but I can't remember, to be honest, what I predicted. But either way, I predicted a close one.
Depends when France have turned up, because they'll either smash Australia or they'll get beat.
Yeah, you don't know with France, do you?
They have a lot of in-house arguments, don't they? At these tournaments, and it's let them down in the past. So if they turn up, they should smash them. But you never know what's going on behind the scenes there.
Yeah, no, that's true. But they are defending champions, so they might turn up. They might turn up to defend.
You would expect them to.
You would, yeah. You would expect the champions to turn up.
Yeah, but they'll struggle because Kante's not there, Pogba's not there, Benzema's injured, and Cuckoo's injured. So they're not going to have it that easy. I think they.
Let's be honest. Even if Pogba was there, would he have played well? Because he's very inconsistent. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Pogba. I think he's a brilliant player. And I don't think United should have got rid of him. I think he should have stayed at United. But he was very inconsistent at United.
Yeah. The last 5 World Cups, the holders have gone out in the group stage. That's
true.
So you've got to also remember, Shaz, about Pogba. It's a different Pogba that turns up for France than the one that turns up for Manchester United. So
yeah, no, you are right. You are right. He turns up.
Harry Maguire, that is.
The good Pogba turns up for France, and the bad one turns up at United. Yeah, definitely, man. I don't think he didn't have that many good games at United. Let's be honest. There was that game. I think who did they play? Like I told Shaz that Pogba's going to score in this game, and he came off the bench and actually scored. I think was it Milan, Shaz, last season.
Yeah, it was in the Europa League semi-final, and he got the 1 goal.
Yeah, because we were talking about the game before, and I'm like, you know what, Pogba's going to play this game and he's going to score it. And then the squad got announced, and Shaz is like, Pogba's not even in the starting 11. How's he going to score? I'm like, have some faith. He's coming off the bench. And he actually did. He came off the bench and scored that game. But that's the problem with Pogba. Like, he'll have a good game, 1 every 10 games at club level, but international, he'll probably have a good game every game for France. Whether they win or lose, he'll probably still have a good game.
You're right, yeah. It just depends on which Pogba turns up. But with regards to Benzema, I think Adam was mentioning before, France are very talented, gifted at the top. I don't think if there was any other team, a player of caliber of Benzema was missing, then it would be a big difference. But they're blessed. They've got the likes of Mbappe there. They've got Griezmann. Ben Yedder can fit in there somewhere as well, and stuff. So yeah, I don't think Benzema, as much as I'd like to have seen him, I don't think it'd be a great miss for France, to be honest.
Do we know who they've called up as the replacement?
Martial.
Was it Martial?
I don't think it was Martial. I'm just.
So they normally call on Giroud, don't they? But I don't know whether what he's still doing with himself these days.
He's in the squad.
Is he?
He scored goals. How many other teams have got a player in the squad who scored 40 plus goals for them? That probably.
I mean, I've just had a look online now, and France aren't replacing Benzema.
Oh, that's
the manager's come out and said he doesn't want to bring anyone else up.
That's a strange one, because if they get a couple of injuries, they could be short.
Yeah, definitely. Opted against having a replacement. It's quite a strange one, that, because I thought he would at least bring someone up, even if he's not going to play him. Just have someone there as a backup in case, because he's not going to be able to do it after the tournament starts, is he?
I also heard some faint rumours is that obviously now with Benzema injured, Real Madrid are going to need a striker, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Interesting.
How long is Benzema out for?
I don't know.
And obviously he's out for the World Cup, but is it quite a bad injury that he's had?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how.
It's an interesting one. It's something to keep your eye on because.
Are you talking about Benzema? I think the problem with these injuries is that they're picking him up because the season starts. So they probably picked him up. I think he picked it up during the Champions League game against Celtic. It was a thigh injury. He's probably not recovered from that. But then again, a lot of these injuries are down to the fact that they've had a high intense start to the season. I mean, a lot of our defenders like Chilwell, they're out because of that Champions League game. They didn't need to play him. But yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, man. Is there any other players? Obviously, Nav, you weren't on the last show. Is there any players that are out that you're quite gutted for?
Obviously, Pogba is one. Pogba is,
the main one,
main favourite. Other than, I mean, I would have liked to have seen Mane as well. I mean, I used to enjoy watching him play for Liverpool. Good footballer. Plays the game well. But obviously, he's no longer. But yeah, I think Pogba was the main one for me. Somebody I was looking forward to watching.
What about players that didn't get selected that are injured? Let's say, like the likes of Van der Beek and Sancho and other players like that. What about you? Like, what other players would you have liked to have seen in the squads for their countries?
Reece James.
Reece James.
I think that's.
I think he would have made it if he wasn't injured. I think he would have made the squad, wouldn't he?
I think he would have been a starter. I think he would have played every game.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he's that much better than everybody else in that role. He's probably one of the top right backs.
Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. There was no way Trent Alexander was making this squad without those injuries. He was never making it. He's only there because everyone else got injured. He's like, oh, who else?
We need someone. Let's just grab this.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I would have liked to have seen. There's this 22-year-old striker that was born in Leeds. He unfortunately plays for Norway. It would have been brilliant. Erling Haaland would have been, awesome for England if he would have, used that British passport that he has. But yeah, one can only hope. I'm afraid, So.
I say, well, he's going to be sat over in Manchester because Norway didn't make it.
The problem was he went to the wrong side of Manchester, and then he decided that I think that he used to play for Norway. So Shaz was like, "Oh, Haaland's played." I said, "Bro, Norway didn't even qualify." He's like barely made it in.
I'm disappointed they haven't gone with that option to parachute him in for 45 minutes for each team during the tournament. That would have been great to see.
I'd have taken him over Kane any day, mate.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
Kane will score though. He'll score goals for us, and that's the main thing. If we have a penalty, he'll score.
That's the problem. If it's a penalty, they'll score. Well, they need to score like from open play as well. And that's where England do struggle from. They struggle scoring open play.
Did you see the training montage from Harry Kane? He was literally dribbling it past players in training today. I was like,
was he?
Yeah, man.
Are we talking about the same person here? Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the same player. I'll find the video and I'll share it with you. Definitely want to feast your eyes on. You never know. Could be the start of a new career.
Doesn't matter though how you score them as long as they're going in the back of the net. I don't care if he's tapping them in from 1 yard out and we go on to win the World Cup.
No, yeah. Goals are goal, points are points, aren't they?
Even if he scores 10 penalties, if he scores 10 penalties in this World Cup and we win the World Cup, no one's going to care, right?
No one's going to care. Obviously, the World Cup, winning the World Cup's the main priority. However, it's done. Yeah. But you would like to see your team do it in style.
I think under a new manager, when Southgate goes, I think we'll see a different style.
Oh, 100%.
Someone a bit more attacking. I think it'll be Eddie Howe next. I'd be shocked if it wasn't Howe. Just the job he's done at Newcastle with, a relatively poor. If you look at the squad, it's not a high-profile squad, and the football he's getting out of that team is really, really good. And I think he can come to England and get us playing a little bit more attacking, and I think we'd see a few more goals.
Yeah, definitely. What about Graham Potter?
Not for me.
Nah, blood. Leave that name at Chelsea, bro. Leave that name at Chelsea.
Leave it at Chelsea.
Not for me. I mean, Eddie Howe was talked about before, wasn't he? And, then
yeah.
obviously went on a bit of a bad run with Bournemouth. But, I mean, obviously you can see he is a top manager. I mean, he's coming to Newcastle, completely changed them around. And they're probably playing some of the best football out, probably apart from Man City. And maybe Arsenal.
No, they have played some good football.
They're playing really, really well.
Scored a lot of goals as well. Definitely. So would you prefer, obviously once Southgate's gone, would you prefer an English manager or a foreign manager? Or does it not matter?
For me, I think it should be, if you couldn't ever play for that country, you should never be able to manage them. Obviously, then that does hinder some of the, obviously, like countries, in Africa who do tend to come to Europe and get a manager who's got some more experience, because obviously their managers aren't getting the same opportunity. So I understand that would be a problem there. But I think for someone like England, it has to be an English manager.
That makes sense. Because we've had foreign managers previously that didn't really do too well.
They played some good football though at times, and when they first came in, they changed things around, and we looked a little bit exciting. But I just don't think they've got the same passion. They're not being funny. If you're Sven playing against Sweden, you don't want England to win. Same as with Capello. If he's playing Italy, you definitely don't want England to beat Italy and go through to the next round.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Shaz, if you need to jump off, just jump off, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll be back in a bit, boys.
Yeah, no worries. Just let me know when you're back, and I'll. Oh, okay. Just jump off. It's all good. I'll bring him back on. I think he just needs to nip off for a few minutes. But obviously, go on. Go on,
a mission that I was just thinking of, David De Gea, he's not made it into the Spain squad, has he?
Yeah. That was a shock to me.
Yeah, I mean,
then was it the Spanish team and posted something saying congratulations on your retirement or something.
Yeah,
and then De Gea's responded back, "I'm not retired." They just took shots at him because they didn't pick him, and now apparently they've retired. Made a retirement decision for him.
I think
it's very clear that they don't want him to play for Spain again. I think that's what they're trying to say.
Respect these players that don't retire from international football. I'll come out and say, look, if you don't want to pick me, don't pick me, but I'm not retiring. They played, David Beckham was like that for England.
He was, yeah.
I remember they tried to offer him a testimonial game, didn't they? And he turned it down. He said, "I'm not retiring. If you don't think if you want to pick me because I'm good enough, not because you want to give me a send off."
That's it. That's it. I mean, some players want to carry on playing, but even though they know they're past it, so they just say, "Look, if you want to pick me, pick me. If you don't, you don't. I'm still available either way."
Yeah.
But yeah, De Gea was a big name that I think should have been included in the Spanish squad. Whether they're going to use him or not, I think he would have been someone that would have been able to help the younger players in the squad.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And also the other goalkeepers as well, because for a period, I wouldn't say right now, but for a period over the past 5 or 6 years, De Gea was classed as one of the best in the world.
Yeah,
in that position. And I don't think he is now, because he does make errors, but every goalkeeper does make an error. But I think De Gea is not at that level that he was about 5, maybe 6 years ago. He's not at that higher level anymore.
Well, you'd think if they're taking 3 goalkeepers, they would probably take him as well. He's got to be in the top 3 Spanish goalkeepers, surely.
Who did Spain end up taking for goalkeepers?
There's a guy called, I think it was Simon, if I remember correctly. He's one of them. I don't know. Have they got Arrizabalaga in there as well? I'm not sure if they've taken him or.
Let's have a look, see who they. I'm just bringing it up now to see if I can find out who they actually put in instead of De Gea. Robert Sanchez from Brighton, David Raya from Brentford, and Unai Simon from Atletico.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I think De Gea is better than the guy from Brentford and Brighton. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And Arrizabalaga in there as well. That's another one. Fairly decent. Not a bad keeper.
Definitely. I mean, I think what the managers want is they want younger players who are going to be at the next Euros, the next World Cup, and the next Euro and the World Cup. They don't want players who are just going to be in this World Cup and then maybe not be there for the next one.
Yeah.
Because they want a squad that, they can give time to work together and gel together and have that chemistry. And that's like the type of squad that Germany had a while back.
I was just going to say that the Germans did that, didn't they? They put out a lot of youngsters, gave them the game time. They knew they weren't going to do very well or go very far in that tournament. They were looking at 4 years down the line, and didn't they come back and win it?
They did, yeah. That's exactly. I think that's what Spain are trying to do. But they have included some of the older players as well, but not a lot of them, I don't think. Which, you know, if they're moving in that direction, you know, that's good for them. But they probably won't win anything for maybe till the next World Cup in that way, because you can win trophies with a young squad, and Alex Ferguson proved that. But this isn't the Premier League; this is the World Cup, so it's a lot harder to do.
Maybe they'll do well at the Euros, though. You know, I mean, have a tournament here. Yeah. If they qualify from the group, maybe have 1 or 2 games. I mean, they probably. I don't. Me personally, I don't see Spain getting to the semis.
No, I don't even know.
You know, if the draw falls their way, you never know. They might get there.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think I predicted it would be Portugal or Brazil to win this World Cup.
No, the reason I say Samuel Eto'o reckons it's going to be all the African teams in the semi-final. Have you seen that madness?
That's madness.
Have you seen his predicted World Cup? Have you seen that?
I've not seen it. No,
it's crazy. I mean, I think he had Qatar to beat England.
Wow.
In the second round.
What the heck? Oh dear. So there's some people say anything to get likes and stuff, don't want and views and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, Cameroon and I think Morocco in the final.
Cameroon and Morocco.
Yeah.
I don't even think they'll make it out of the group stages. Never mind getting to the final.
I mean, I think there's always one African team that seems to do well. So you never know. You might see one in the semis again. All down to the. I
think that'll be Senegal. To be fair, in this time round, I think it'll be Senegal that'll.
If they had Mane, yes. I don't think they'll get there though without him. I don't think they're good enough.
They will, because I don't think the other African teams are that good.
No, they're not. But
they're not. I think the only team that could have done well, like you just said with Mane, would have been Senegal. Now it's still hit and miss. It's still hit and miss, but we'll see. We'll see how that develops.
The thing is that they've only got to sneak through in second place, and you know, if they get a team that maybe wins the group but probably shouldn't have won the group, and they're not the strongest, you know, they might be able to get through. It's all about who you play. I mean, look, England got quite a good run out last time.
They did, yeah.
We didn't play anybody too strong. You know, we played some decent teams. Let's not disrespect them too much, but you know, they weren't the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. It's all about the draw and who you get, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, like, who's your prediction to win? Obviously, everyone wants England to win, but we do have to be realistic.
I've said Brazil, but again, it could be any one of a number of teams. Brazil, it could be their time. They haven't won one for a while. I think the temperatures would suit them more than it would a European side.
It would, yeah, because they're used to the heat over in Brazil, aren't they?
But then Argentina, last chance for Messi, possibly.
It's the last chance for Ronaldo as well at Portugal. I don't think he's going to be around at the Euros or the World Cup. I don't think Messi will be around after this World Cup. I think they'll both retire from football in the next 2 years. Like Ronaldo said it in his interview that he wants to retire in the next 2-3 years, so at the age of 40.
So I don't see Portugal doing that well. I mean, they might get to the quarters. I don't see them going past the quarterfinals. I think maybe Argentina, Brazil, possible dark horses to get to a final, maybe South Korea. They're always well drilled.
They are. Again, they're very well disciplined, aren't they?
Yeah, it's going to be down, though, to who they face in the second round, though, I think, and where they finish in the group. Because obviously they've got Uruguay, Ghana, and Portugal themselves. But obviously, if you can qualify from that group, you'd probably say Uruguay, Portugal, probably the two favourites. If they manage to sneak in, though, and get that second spot, if they get a good team in the second round, they could go far.
Yeah, no, definitely.
They're always hard to beat. They never get hammered, and they always play well. And they've got Son, haven't they? So he's dangerous. You know, knows where the back of the net is.
He's very dangerous on that side, isn't he?
Did he share the golden boot last season?
I think he did.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah, hasn't quite done so well this season, but you know, they've got some decent players. They're not, you know, for me, I think they're dark horses to maybe get to the final. I don't think they'll win it though. That'd be a massive shot. Imagine if they won it.
Hey, you never know. I mean, Greece won the Euros.
Do you know what though? If it's not England though, I hope it is someone like that. I'd like to see a team that, you know, our dark horses win it. I don't want to see one of the the big teams win it. I want to see, you know, it ain't going to be England. I want to see someone who's not expected to win it take it home.
What about Belgium? What are your thoughts on Belgium?
They're always a team. They've got quality players, but they're always that team who get tipped to be to go far. They say, "Oh yeah, they're going to win something eventually," and then they always go out in like the quarters or the. I know they got to the semi of the last World Cup. That was probably the opportunity when France beat them in the semi.
Yeah, definitely. I can't even remember. Is Lukaku in their squad?
Probably.
I can't remember if he got put in the squad or not. I can't remember if he got chosen or not.
Yeah, he might be, but I mean, like I say, I just don't. I think they've got a lot of older players though in their squads. I think they're going to the end of their lot. It's their golden generation coming to the end. Okay, yeah, they've got players like De Bruyne, who's obviously world class, but no, for me, I just don't think they've got enough there. They're just missing one or two key elements to go far.
Yeah, what do you think those key elements are that they're missing?
At the back, they've got like age. Have they still got is it Vertonghen playing? Doesn't he still play for them? And I think it's like 35.
They probably do.
You know, if you're having to play a 35-year-old centre-back at a World Cup, you're probably not going to win the World Cup. I know, obviously, Italy had those guys in the Euros, but obviously they just, you know, the way they play, they're just quality. I just don't think they're at the same level.
They actually still have Vertonghen playing.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, good defender. Was world-class in his day, but I think he's had his day.
And they've also got I can't pronounce his name, Toby Alder. Is it Alderweireld?
Is he still playing for him?
He's still in the squad as well.
So, I mean, what are those guys? They've got to be in their 30s now, well into their 30s.
Yeah, they will. Lukaku's actually in the squad. Yeah, I've just double-checked that. He's in their squad. Eden Hazard, I don't think he's done well since
he
left Chelsea.
Spell, hasn't he?
Him and his brother are both in the squad, though. Thorgan Hazard.
He must be well into his 30s now.
That's what I mean. It's an aging squad. It's their golden generation coming to the end, but that shows that they haven't got anyone good enough to come through and replace those guys.
That's very true, actually.
So when it comes around to the next World Cup, you'll be seeing Belgium probably maybe not even qualifying.
Well, I'll qualify because it's 48 teams at the next one, isn't it?
Well, you never know.
Is it 48 teams next World Cup?
Yeah.
Right.
That'll be a crazy one, and that will be.
That's crazy.
16 groups of 3, and then the knockout stage will be a last 32 to last 32.
That's mad.
So two group games and then knockout straight away.
Yeah, so some teams will only play 2 games and then go home.
Wow.
I mean, I think Belgium will still qualify from their group because they've not got a hard group. They've got Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
I'll get through that.
I think they should, even with the aging squad they've got, I think they should still be comfortably winning that group. The only team I think that could cause them any problems is maybe Croatia because they do, for some reason, they usually do well at World Cups.
Well, be Croatia or Belgium, you'd imagine top spot. Yeah. And then whoever doesn't finish top should come second. But
definitely.
It only takes one shock result.
Exactly, that's it. So where do you think the shock result's going to come from in this World Cup? Like which team's going to cause that big upset? Because a lot of people obviously over in Qatar want it to be Qatar, but I just don't think they're capable of doing it.
Not based on what I've seen today.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you know what? There's a possibility Iran could beat, I won't say England, but America or Wales.
I was about to say that because Iran, the last World Cup, they didn't get through, but I think they got a draw with either Spain or Portugal.
They did, yeah. They drew with one of the big teams, didn't they?
Defensively, they're a hard team to score against.
Do you know what? Possibly Group G. I reckon one of those teams will beat Brazil.
You reckon?
Yeah, I mean, hard to pick which one, but I reckon Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, one of them beating Brazil would probably be a shock. I mean, you'd be expecting Brazil to win all 3. I reckon that's where we might see the shock, one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably Switzerland, because they're, again, well drilled. They always do all right at the World Cup. They don't concede too many goals.
That's true, yeah. They don't concede too much. What about the Group C? Argentina, Saudi, Mexico, and Poland. I see Saudi maybe beating Mexico or Poland, but I don't see them beating Argentina, though.
I think they'll lose 3 out of 3, Saudi. Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about the current team, but going by past tournaments, it's going to be Argentina to win the group, then out of Poland, the winner of Poland, Mexico for second.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably right.
And Poland have got that match winner in the team.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, definitely.
And so,
but Mexico are going to be better suited to the weather. So
that's a good point. Actually,
you've kind of got to factor that in. You know, the European teams, which they do tend to struggle when we play in the heat.
Yeah. They do, man. They're not used to it, are they?
No. Like, and it's not just a little bit warm. It is intense, like heat, isn't it? Even
it is very hot over there, definitely. Heat, I mean, they're going to have a lot of water breaks, like in these matches. to keep the players hydrated in this heat. It is quite bad. Sorry, Nav, we were just talking about where we think the biggest upsets are going to come from in the groups.
I hope Tuesday night Australia beat France. I hope that really happens.
Hey, it could do. It could. Adam was saying it would be Group G. It could be Group G. One of those teams could beat Brazil.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't see. I see Brazil as one of the finalists. I think that they'll have a good tournament. I think. I believe. I don't see anybody beating them. I don't know. Maybe Serbia, possibly. I think, but sorry, Serbia. Yeah.
Welcome back, Shaz.
Yeah, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon in that group.
Yeah.
Like I say, you'd expect Brazil to win 3 out of 3, but if they win the first 2, they might lose the last one. They might, which would still be a shock. You wouldn't be expecting Brazil to lose to any of them 3, I don't think.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Are we on Group C?
Just to bring Shaz up to speed, we were talking about where we think the biggest upsets are coming from in the group stages.
Well, I can't see anyone losing to Brazil. I think Brazil are taking all the games. Portugal. I don't know about Portugal. I mean, apart from Ronaldo, I don't. Fernandes had a good game in a friendly. I saw. I think they beat Nigeria.
Scored 2 goals, didn't he? They won 4-0, but Fernandes scored 2.
Yeah,
I think Portugal have got some good young players in the squad, but that's a problem as well because they're young players. They're inexperienced at this level.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think their more senior players, obviously Ronaldo and then Fernandes, isn't it? Yeah, they're going to have to carry that team. You were right, Shaz. Darren was going to leave a comment. He has Croatia underdogs. Yeah, I mean, I think was it Adam just said Croatia usually do well at World Cups, and myself we were both just saying that.
I think a lot of the side they had at the last World Cup that reached the final, I think a lot of them have retired now. But
yeah, they will have done because I think they've still got an aging squad as it is. Now, I don't know where else the big upsets could come from. Like obviously, Nav just said Australia could beat France or even Denmark or Tunisia because it does depend which French team turns up. So it could be the upsets in that group because France for one of the games might not just they might not turn up and get beat by. Let's be honest, there should be 3-3 in that group. France.
You know who I think will struggle? Belgium. I think Belgium will struggle.
We were just talking about Belgium, yeah. Adam and me were just saying that they do have an aging squad. They have got quite a lot of old players. They actually still have a Tongan, Shaz.
Oh, well, that says it all.
And the other guy that I think he played at Tottenham as well, Toby Alderweireld.
Yeah, Alderweireld.
They've still got both of them.
That's what I mean.
Obviously, they've got Taku and they've got Hazard. They're both Hazards and De Bruyne, but
yeah, but hold on. Hazard's been injured for
exactly. He's not played well since he left Chelsea. Well. Let's be honest. That was the wrong move for him.
Player. Yeah, De Bruyne is the only player I can see making a difference, but it's different for playing for City than Belgium because he's got.
I think the other player that could make a difference for them is their goalkeeper, the Real Madrid goalkeeper Courtois. I think he's a really good goalkeeper, but there's only so much a goalkeeper can do. He needs a solid defense in front of him to help him out at times, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
And let's be honest. I mean, Belgium have a player that I don't even think should be in the squad. Den Donker from Aston Villa.
Oh, wow.
Shows how desperate they are.
Yeah, exactly. It does. It shows how desperate they are.
We'll watch the first game for Belgium and he'll be man of the match.
Yeah, Nav just said he had to go, so he's just dropped off. I don't think he's going to be joining us after.
No, that's fine.
But thanks for jumping on, Nav. Appreciate your time and your thoughts on all this. We will obviously see Nav again in the other videos. It's going to be a regular on the World Cup shows, as are Rich and Adam and me and Shaz as well. But is there anything else you boys want to talk about? Football. Sorry, not just for the World Cup, but football in general. I know at the start you missed it, Shaz. We had a bit of a brief discussion on Benzema being out and the Ronaldo interview and stuff like that. And I know we spoke yesterday off camera, Shaz, about Ronaldo and his interview. So I'm going to let you say what you need to say before we go, Shaz. I know you need to get that off your chest, bro. I know it's burning you, bro.
Well, the only thing that's burning me is that it's just basically a suicide note. If you put an interview like that out, regardless of who you play for, it's a death sentence. You can't go back and play for the club. He basically got baited by Piers Morgan, the biggest mug in British media. I'll leave it at that. I mean, the guy supports Arsenal. He's clearly bored. Baited him into some of the questions. Ronaldo obviously hasn't been interested. Glazers are just dumb because they should have just got rid of him when they did. I mean,
that's the thing though. So let's just go back to summer when Ronaldo. It came out that Ronaldo wanted to leave, and it was just a rumor. And then obviously Ronaldo confirmed it. He didn't say the words, but obviously you could tell by what he was trying to do that he wanted to leave. And then I think every single big club was linked to Ronaldo: Dortmund, Real Madrid, Juve, Chelsea, even Munich, and there was loads of other teams that were linked to him. And then at the end of it, he ended up staying at United, and that's mainly because the Glaciers wanted to keep him. Not Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag would have been okay with him gone, but the Glaciers wanted to keep him because he is very good at merchandise sales.
Exactly. I would say I think the best thing I would say is that if you have any common sense, then they should have let him go. Yes, I understand he's a cash cow, brings money in, but it's just.
But let's be honest, Chaz. This is the Glaciers. When did they ever have any sense?
Well, you know what? The one good thing, I mean, we're taking away from Man United, but glad to see that Sisu have left the building. And I know Adam's jumping at joy with this because we've had back and forth.
Still 15%. The new owner, apparently the reason he only brought 85% and he's kept these, he wants them to be around because he said himself he wants somebody who knows what they're doing, or who's been around to basically help him. That's why Zizou still got 15%. But
but that basically means that someone else is there. Okay, I can't see Zizou having that much influence. They hardly did that much anyway.
I think eventually he will buy. I think eventually he'll buy the whole club. But
well, this is the thing. Mike actually can make a quick £8 million profit off
selling the stadium.
Selling the stadium. Whether he does,
I don't understand that whole situation. That one person owns the club, or two people, and then one person owns the stadium. I don't understand that at all.
I think the council
if you bought the club, you get the stadium along with it.
Do the council own the freehold as well? I think there's three parties involved in all this nonsense. It's just ridiculous. But
it's just crazy,
I think Ashley's smart though, because obviously he's got the opportunity to, like you say, he could make a quick £7 to £8 million profit on this stadium now. Or if he genuinely thinks Cov could get to the Premier League, he could hold out and go, look, I'll let you have it, but it's going to cost you 40 million now you're in the Prem.
Yeah, exactly.
And he'll rent it back. That's why either way, he squids in. He's going to make money because he'll make money on the rent off it, but he needs the football club, at least in the short term, because he's not going to make. I don't think he's going to find another team to come here and play. And it's maybe you're saying Wasps can't pull the fans in. No one else is going to pull the fans in.
Someone else has. Maybe he buys that 15% and then starts buying, and then starts obviously with this other person who's bought it and putting money into the club.
I think Darren's left a comment if you want to edit.
Yeah, no, there are a couple of comments. I'm just leaving them at the end there, just so we can go through them at the end.
Yeah,
just like get through what we need to first, and then I'll bring them comments up. There are a couple that we haven't brought up yet.
No, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, going back to that whole situation, it's as Adam has said, it's a three-way party. It goes all the way back to 2000 and when did Wasps come?
Well, it goes back to when we first bought the stadium. Let's be honest; it's been a shambles ever since we moved out Highfield Road. It's a unique situation that no club in the UK or probably anywhere on planet Earth is in at the moment, right? But you know what, right? It matters what happens on the pitch, not off the pitch.
No, that's true. That's true. As long as the team's doing well, as
long as all of this nonsense doesn't negatively impact the team or the squad or the manager or anything else, that's all that matters.
You know what? It was funny at the start of the season. Adam was like, "Oh, we're doing shit. We're going to get relegated. We're going to relegate." Well, I was like, "Listen, chill, relax. Don't worry. He's got this in the bag." And
Eccles are right back though.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Madness.
We're 2 points off the playoffs. I mean, I don't know what the whole fuss is all about.
Don't say that word.
Oh no, sorry.
Is there any other news in the football world that we haven't gone through on this show and the last one? Is there anything that we might have missed?
Anything we've missed in football?
Because I know obviously we spoke about Ronaldo and we probably don't need to speak about him anymore. and we spoke about the situation at Coventry City with you lot. And obviously, we
Did
spoke
you hear
briefly on
the
Benzema.
Did you hear the president's speech yesterday?
Oh man, don't even get me started. Don't get me started on him. I feel Arab. I feel this. I feel that. Bro,
he's tried to do something that he hasn't got a clue how to do. He's completely balls that up, hasn't he? Like, he's used completely the wrong words with it. You can understand the sentiment he's trying to get across, but he just hasn't said that in the right way at all. He's just made himself sound like a prat.
Yeah, exactly. He should have just stayed quiet, shouldn't he, really? But we do have a couple of comments from Darren, and Nav's left a couple after he left. So what I'll do is I'll bring them up one by one, and we can just go through them and give us our thoughts on them. So first is Darren. Why is the championship stopped? Reading away could be changed if England get to the quarterfinals. It makes no sense. Can't wait till the World Cup is over, to be honest.
God, it hasn't started yet, Daz. Come on.
I know, that's what I was thinking. It's not even started and he can't bother with it.
But no, there's probably a handful of like championship players there that have gone to some of the other countries, you'd imagine, which is why it's had to be scrapped.
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know for sure, but there's got to be a few championship players at the World Cup.
Yeah, there's the South for Senegal, I think, Watford, and there will be others as well that we've not, that we're probably not aware of.
I think 14 out of the 24 championship clubs have got at least one player playing at the World Cup. I think a few that haven't. Yeah. One of 10 that haven't. Because obviously we've got Gyökeres who's an international, but they've not qualified. So
exactly, yeah.
No, definitely.
You'd imagine some of the Welsh team are in the championship. Quite a few Welsh players knocking about the championship level. So
yeah, there will be. I think you'll have some from Uruguay and places like that might have some.
I think Hull have got someone from Uruguay, haven't they? So
yeah. So there are a couple of players that obviously need,
which is obviously why they've had to call it off. It's not really fair for a team to be hampered by having if you've got World Cup players, you imagine they're going to be some of your better players, or at least your first team players. It's not fair to hamper those teams, is it? So.
Exactly. No, you're right on that. I think that's probably mainly why all the leagues have stopped that have it, World Cup players in it. Nav's left a comment about Ronaldo. Ronaldo has been hard done by, according to himself, but the way he handled it was very bad, tainted his legacy. I agree with you, Nav. Ronaldo shouldn't have done the interview. Piers Morgan was a knobhead, and as Shaz said, baited him into it. Ronaldo should have, on the interview, if he wanted to do an interview, just talk about his personal life and maybe what he felt like at the club, but not against the manager, because that just shows that he has no respect for the manager and he's just never going to play again at United.
It doesn't work.
I've said it before, and I've said it to Shaz. I think I said it on the last show as well. To me, Ronaldo will be my all-time favourite player. He has always been my favourite player since he's been playing, when he was at United, when he first started. And it's still now, even when he was at Real Madrid and Juve, if I could watch a Real Madrid and Juve game on TV, I'd watch it because it's Ronaldo in the squad. His legacy is his legacy. And to me, he has tainted his legacy a bit with what he's done here at United. But to me, it's not that much of an issue like it is for maybe the other United fans and stuff. Like I've heard some United people obviously say terminate his contract, get rid of him. We don't need a player like that. And it's fair. He said what he said, and the club should obviously the club are actually looking at ways of trying to terminate his contract. And I think by the end of the World Cup, they will have found something where in his contract, he's breached this, where we'll terminate his contract without paying him anything. And then that gives Ronaldo the opportunity as a free agent to go wherever the heck he wants. And then at the end of the day, from summer till now, Ronaldo then gets exactly what he wanted. Whether it was a good way of doing it or a bad way, I'll leave that to everybody else.
You know the age-old saying, right? No matter wherever you go or whatever industry it is, don't slag off your employers.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. You might have a bad experience, but if you slag them off to someone else, it's not going to set you a good example. The problem is every other Champions League club is looking at it and saying, you know what? I don't want this baggage. I don't need this hassle of someone like moaning because I'm not.
Exactly. He's not done himself any favours, let's just say that.
He's not happy. He's frustrated with what's going on. He's not getting the game time he feels he deserves. But at the same time, you've got to earn that game time. And if the manager doesn't feel like he's earned it, then he's not going to play him.
Exactly. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we're in November, then we've got the World Cup, so the Premier League and football has stopped. When you get back a couple of weeks later, the January transfer window's open. We just push for a transfer.
I think United will hang on to him. I don't think they'll terminate his contract. I think what they'll do is they'll get a few million for him. He'll go.
I don't even think they could. I mean, from January, he can speak to foreign clubs and go on a free.
Yeah, but they'll have to wait till the end of the season. United will want him out there and then, wouldn't they? So
yeah, that's true.
I think it'll be a dirt cheap deal, a few million in the bank, and then bye, see you later.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be something along those lines. I don't think by the end of January he will be a United player.
It would be a shock if he was.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. It'd be the biggest shock in football history if he's still at United and he actually gets a game as well.
Well, yeah. The manager would have to go though for that. Someone would have to go behind this. The manager would have to go, I think, for that to happen.
For him to play again?
Yeah, I think it's either Ten Hag or Ronaldo.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they could patch things up. Maybe they could sit down, have a talk, hash it out. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's an option.
If I slag you off on media, there's no way you're going to be like, you know what, Shaz, don't worry about it.
But Shaz, Ten Hag has slagged Ronaldo off in the media. Ten Hag has criticised Ronaldo in the media as well. And Ronaldo's just done the same back to him. So
it's hard though for managers though, because when it's someone like Ronaldo, you're always going to be questions on Ronaldo. Same at like PSG, it's always about Messi. It's not about the team, it's all about Ronaldo, it's all about people like Messi. That's what it is, with these sort of teams. So he's being asked a question about Ronaldo. Right. There's only so long he can dodge the questions before he's got to say something.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think because it's Ronaldo, he's probably been asked more about Ronaldo because he's there. He's the big player in the squad.
United.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got a couple more comments from Darren just popped up. He's just said he'll come on to the next show with us. So we'll get the link across to you after this when we figure out what date and time we're going to do it. I'll get one of the guys to send it to you. And we've got another comment, I think, about Coventry. Let's see if King sticks to his word to not sell players. Would you trust Robbins with money?
Of course I would.
I'll let you lot answer that because I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what I'm talking about this.
Why are you going to sell players? He's got no reason to. Yes, Adam might be right that if you can make a profit on him, and I mean a good profit, I'm not talking about 5-6 million. You got to be realistic.
No, you've got, like I said, we've got players here who will go for good money, and if they meet like market value, like I would say, Dockerez has got to be somewhere close to 20 mil. Right, for a championship striker, right? I think that's what. If someone offers that, I think that's a good price. I think Hamer 10 to 12. I don't think he's quite as good. That's my view. And O'Hare, like we've heard, obviously, he's only got 18 months left on his contract. Burnley are apparently sniffing round, and I don't think the club want to sell him. But if he turns around and says, "Look, I want to go because I'm going to play Premier League football,"
that's different. If he says he doesn't want to be there, exactly.
He's the only player that I think might go only because if he turns around and goes, "No, I want to play Premier League," and I don't see Cov making it.
But
it's better to cash in now than see him go for nothing.
Honestly, I can't see Burnley making it either. If I'm being honest,
I don't know whether Burnley have got the money. I don't know what their financial situation is.
Money. They're in the Premier League last year. They'll have money.
They got the parachute payments, but I don't know how that works in terms of the structure. But yeah, no, interesting times. We'll have to see what happens. But like I said, if the debts are cleared, no reason to sell. Keep them. We should be reinvesting.
Yeah, if the players want to stay, I don't want to see anybody go. I want to see a couple of additions if we can, but
we need a replacement.
It's all down to whether the players turn around. Because, if two or three,
are you talking about additions in January?
Yeah.
All right, okay, that's fair. So there's just one more comment from Nav. Interesting record set today. Qatar first host team to ever lose an opening game.
Hardly surprising.
Not surprising, but it is what it is, isn't it? It was bound to be broken.
What happens when the hosts aren't a footballing nation? They
that's true. That's true.
This is really their like I say, it's their first World Cup, and they haven't really come onto the scene and really done too much. I mean, they beat Japan though, didn't they? 2019 Asia Cup final.
They did, yeah.
Now the Asian champions.
Hey,
say it again.
They're actually the Asian champions, aren't they?
They beat Japan. So
I don't know how effective that tournament is, but
it's probably not as big as the Euros and stuff like that. But it is what it is. I mean, it's probably that, like you said, it's their first World Cup. They were bound to do, as they are, not good. They're not a good squad. They don't have a good squad. They don't have any good players, decent players that are like Premier League players or in the Bundesliga or La Liga and places like that.
I think in the second half, Ecuador were just bored because any other team would have gone out and clinically finished them off. I mean, I think Qatar only had one decent chance, and that was at the end of the first half, where their striker glanced ahead of wide. But apart from that, I didn't really see anything that was like.
There was a half volley in the second half as well, which went just over.
Yeah, just
But
over.
I expected more from them, even though obviously they're not that experienced. I still expected to see a little bit more from them. I didn't think they were going to be as poor as they were.
Especially Ecuador and
Did you think the first goal was offside? By the way,
we discussed it
Yeah,
before.
his knee was offside.
By the letter of the law, it was offside, but without VAR.
Yeah, we went through this earlier at the start, Shaz, before you got on. But yeah, it was.
Fair enough.
It was
Common sense would say no, right? If we're talking about common sense here, right, then no. But by the letters of the law and how VAR works, that has to be given as offside. That's how it is. Doesn't matter how much it's offside. Same with the ball over the line. That's what we said at the start. Same with the ball over the line. Even if it's only a tiny little bit all the way over the line, it's still over the line.
Yeah. And as Rich said earlier, I mean, he was watching one of the women's games and one of the ladies had a ponytail that was offside. You know what I mean? It's boring. Any part of your body that is offside, it's classed as offside. Whether it's a finger, your hair, whatever it is, you're offside. And I get that. That's the law. That's what it's written as, and that's what the referees have to go by. Because if they don't, then they're going to get stick. Oh, that was offside. Why didn't you give it as offside?
I think if it's going to come down to that, everyone should just shave their heads off. Because at this rate, if you've got like
everyone should play football bald, yeah.
You're going to be off.
Super tight tops, just in case it's At some point, though, we're going to see somebody's sleeve that's going to just slightly be dangling in the wind as they're running, and it's going to be offside. The whole of their body, just that tiny little bit of sleeve is going to be off. Knowing our luck, it'll be England, and it'll be the goal that decides whether they go through or not.
It's crazy, isn't it, mate? Some of the goals that I've seen classed as offside it's just bizarre. I get obviously VAR does help in certain situations where, the linesmen have said, it's offside and it's not, and the goal counts. So everyone says, oh yeah, that's a good way of having VAR. But on the other side, situations like this, I think the goal should have stood. But as Adam said, by the letter of the law, he's offside, so he's offside. So Shaz has Nav has mentioned something else. Worth a mention: England are taking a knee in their first game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, peeps?
To be fair, when it was going on before taking the knee, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I bet they won't do it in Qatar," and made a point of saying, "Oh yeah, when the World Cup's in, they're taking the knee but going to Qatar." But fair play, they are actually doing it. So
yeah.
I think if the players want to do it and they're happy to do it, go for it. Same with Kane. He's wearing he's defying FIFA law, the FIFA rules, isn't he? And wearing that rainbow armband apparently as well.
Oh dear me.
Yeah.
So,
it's crazy.
FIFA have said they don't want that because obviously it could upset the host nation, but Kane feels that strongly about it. He wants to wear it. So, and it's similar with McLean though in the Poppy situation. Everyone's got their reasons for either doing something or not doing something. It's personal choice, and I think players should be allowed to do it if they want to. Obviously, as long as it's not causing outrageous offence. I mean, it's going to obviously upset the host nation because obviously
Qatar are quite strict
what the rainbow armband obviously represents. Obviously, they've got different rules and how they want to govern themselves, and that's fine. It's how they want to do things. You haven't got to agree with it or disagree with it. It's just that's different country, different way of living. So
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think Kane wearing the band, the rainbow one. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem for people because it's just at the end of the day, it's just different colours in it.
Yeah,
but he's wearing it for a certain reason, which people in Qatar feel strongly about. So he should be aware of how much he could upset certain people in Qatar, and it'd be a negative impact on the England squad as well because the England squad could get booed because he's their captain. It could go against them on that side, but it is what it is. We'll see how that pans out against Iran because Iran's another country like Qatar that feels strongly about that situation as well. So it's one of those things, isn't it, that we're just going to have to hope it doesn't cause as much problems as it could.
Exactly.
But those are all the comments that are showing on the side there. Is there anything else that you boys want to go through before we finally finish the show? Because it has been going on for quite some time. We're up almost at the 1 hour and a half mark now.
Wow.
No, great show. Thanks.
Almost a full 90 minutes.
Yeah. We've got one more comment popping in. Nav wants to keep us on this show as long as possible. Wishing Blackburn legend Stuart Ripley a happy birthday today. I don't know where that one came from now, but yeah, happy
Fair
birthday to Stuart Ripley. Nav wants to keep us on for at least 2 hours. I'm thinking
that's something I would expect Richard to come out with. I was like, Rich comes out with these weird facts. I'm like, okay, cool, nice.
That's a blast from the past.
Yeah, it is definitely. I mean, but there's nothing else that we've missed out on today.
Nah.
I think we've covered pretty much everything we needed to today and a bit more on top. So it's good having you on, Rich, Adam, Shaz, and obviously Nav before he left. We'll get together after this. If you guys just stay on, we'll get together and try and figure out the next video and when we're going to do it. But before we go, appreciate everyone that's tuned in and all the comments flying in. Before you do go, before Shaz beats me up for not saying it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If there's any type of videos you want to see us do on the show, on the channel, or segments, drop them in the comments and we'll talk them through with the other hosts, and we'll see if we can get them on. But I'll let everyone say their goodbyes for now. Peace out, and we'll see you in the next episode.
It's coming home.